You came home, hugged your dog, gave them a tasty treat, and sincerely consider yourself a good owner. But what if the very little thing you did this morning is exactly what your dog is most afraid of? Not out of cruelty, not out of indifference, simply out of love, but love not in the form they actually need. Watch this video until the end. Perhaps in one of the points you will recognize your daily habits and realize what hidden mistakes you are making. Dogs are not just animals that eat, sleep, and fetch a ball. In terms of emotional development, scientists compare an adult dog to a 2 to 3-year-old child. They are capable of experiencing genuine joy, anxiety, jealousy, and real resentment. The problem is that what harms dogs is rarely obvious. They are harmed by small, daily, absolutely well-intentioned habits that slowly undermine the pet's trust, confidence, and peace of mind. Point 1. You pet them on top of the head. This point surprises almost everyone. You love your dog and want to show it. You reach out and pat them on the top of the head. Meanwhile, at that exact moment, the dog either simply tolerates it, turns away, or for a fraction of a second shows the so-called whale eye, the white rim around the pupil, and you don't even notice. Most people mistake a dog's tolerance of touch for enjoyment of it. Behaviorists call this acquired tolerance, and it is completely different from enjoyment. The biology here is simple. A hand reaching from above and behind activates the same postural reaction that a dominant individual or a predator triggers in animals. A dog physically cannot see well what is approaching from above and slightly behind. Even the most loving dog, with zero history of aggression, involuntarily tenses up a bit from such a gesture. This is not a question of trust in you, it is a question of neurobiology rooted millions of years in the past. Watch more closely next time. Does the dog lean into your hand, turn toward you? Does their gaze soften? If yes, that is enjoyment. Do they lower their head, pull away slightly, blink frequently, or freeze? That is tolerance, and the difference between them is enormous. Dogs consistently prefer being touched on the chest, shoulders, and the base of the tail. Slow, long strokes along the body release oxytocin, the attachment hormone, in both the dog and the human simultaneously. You can give your pet much more warmth simply by changing the location of the touch, rather than increasing the amount. Point 2. You take the bowl away while they are eating to test obedience. Think about what goes on inside a dog's head the moment your hand reaches for their bowl during a meal. It is not mild annoyance, it is an ancient anxiety response. The ancestors of domestic dogs survived in harsh conditions where food was a resource that was literally fought over. A dog's nervous system still perceives food not as a pleasant bonus, but as a matter of survival. When you regularly take food away, even as a joke, even supposedly for training, you are not teaching the dog obedience. You are triggering an ancient signal. This resource is not secure. It needs to be guarded. This is exactly how resource guarding begins. It never starts right away with a bite. It begins with a barely noticeable tension in the body, with the dog starting to eat faster and faster, rushing to finish before something is taken away from them again. Veterinary behaviorists regularly note that resource guarding is one of the most common and yet most preventable behavior problems. And the paradox is that it is most often created by the very owners who were desperately trying to prevent it. What actually works? Form exclusively positive associations with your presence near the bowl. Drop a tastier piece of food right into the bowl while the dog is eating. Teach the give command through mutually beneficial exchange and rewards, not through anxiety. The owner's hand near the bowl must strictly mean something even better is coming. Not everything is about to be taken away. Point 3. You laugh when the dog is scared. A thunderstorm is rolling in, or a neighbor is doing renovations. The dog is shaking behind the toilet, pressing themselves to the floor, and breathing heavily. And you smile, maybe even chuckle, and take out your phone to film a funny video for social media. You are not a bad person, you just do not understand the scale. But at this exact moment, the dog is experiencing real terror from a biological standpoint. Critically spiked cortisol, an increased heart rate, a full-blown physiological panic response. And the being they trust unconditionally is laughing at that moment. Dogs are exceptionally sensitive to our emotional reactions. They read facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice with a precision that still astonishes researchers. When your reaction to the dog's fear is amusement, they do not understand the joke. They understand something else. You saw their suffering and did not respond to it in any way. Over time, this is interpreted clearly in their mind as, "You are not my protector." This is critically important because the foundation of a dog's confidence is security next to their human. Dogs that feel their owner is a reliable and stable source of protection in scary situations recover from a fright many times faster and are less likely to develop long-term phobias. Animals that learn that their owner is unavailable or indifferent in such moments acquire what behaviorists call generalized anxiety, an overall exhausting feeling that the world is unsafe, without any specific trigger. When your dog is scared, the task is simple but important. Stay calm. Not forcefully cheerful, not indifferent, but truly grounded. Speak in a quiet, steady, low voice. Do not overwhelm them with unwanted affection if they do not want it. Just be physically near and let them press against you on their own. This consistency forms a stable psyche over time because the dog knows for sure you are there and you control the situation. Point 4. You are inconsistent with your rules. On Monday, you let the dog onto the couch because you are in a good mood. On Tuesday, you shoo them off because you are wearing clean pants. On Wednesday, you let them on again because they looked at you so touchingly. On Thursday, you yell at them for the exact same thing in front of guests to look like a strict owner. From the outside, this looks like normal daily life. Inside the dog's head, it is absolute, unbearable chaos. Dogs do not think in categories of human morality. They do not think, "I shouldn't be on the couch because it's expensive fabric and the owner's personal space." They think in clear patterns. This specific action always brings this specific result. When the result of the exact same action changes every time depending on your mood, the presence of guests, or how tired you are after work, the dog physically cannot build a reliable model of the world. And a living creature unable to predict its environment inevitably becomes deeply anxious. What owners often mistake for stubbornness, stupidity, or disobedience is actually extreme anxiety expressed through destructive behavior. A dog that suddenly ignores commands, that seemingly forgot all their training, that behaves differently with different family members. This is almost always a dog that was simply never provided with a consistent environment to truly learn the rules of the game. This does not require harsh military discipline from you. It only requires basic consistency. All family members must react to the exact same behavior from the pet in the exact same way. The couch is either always allowed or it is taboo. Jumping up when greeting is either rewarded by everyone or gently blocked. Choose clear rules and stick to them. The dog will reward you with a calm, responsive, and truly happy disposition because they will finally understand the world they live in. Point 5. You send them to their place as a punishment. The place command, a mat, a bed, or a crate pen, is one of the most useful tools in training if introduced correctly. Essentially, it is a psychological anchor of stability. A spot in space where the dog feels completely safe and knows for sure that nothing is required of them, they can just lie down and relax. A properly established place should be perceived by the dog as a zone of guaranteed peace. Trouble never comes there, and they are not driven there with an argument. But here is where a fatal mistake is made. The dog jumped on a guest, stole something from the table, or barked too loudly, and in a sharp, irritated, threatening tone you command, "Place." At that moment, a dangerous psychological shift occurs. A neutral, safe spot instantly turns into a tool of isolation, banishment, and rejection. To a dog, this is not a timeout to cool down, as an owner often perceives it by analogy with child psychology. For them, it is a signal. You are being expelled because you are bad. Dogs flawlessly form associative memory based on emotional context. If the word place is used almost exclusively in an angry voice and right after a misbehavior, the command itself eventually begins to cause strict wariness and stress in the dog. They do not understand their guilt. They simply read the tone and context that signal danger. In many dogs, this leads to a paradoxical result. They begin to greenly avoid their own bed during normal, calm times. It turns out to be emotionally dangerous for them, associated with moments of the owner's anger rather than with rest. Never use the place as a punitive reaction to a misdemeanor. If you need to remove the dog from a conflict zone, redirect their attention calmly, without aggression in your voice, using a soft redirection or a target rather than a commanding banishment. And restore the bed itself through a positive context. Call them there during neutral moments, generously reward them with a treat and calm praise just for lying there, and put their favorite toys and long-lasting chews there. Then the place will remain what it should be, a zone of personal comfort, where the dog happily goes on their own to relax. Your dog does not require perfection from you. They ask for consistency, your predictable presence, and a willingness to understand their language on their own terms. Every point on this list can be easily fixed, starting right with the very next interaction with your beloved pet. If this video made you look at your dog in a new way, be sure to share it with those who also truly love animals. Subscribe to the Cognidog channel so you don't miss new episodes based on real scientific research into dog behavior, and write in the comments which of the 5 points surprised you the most.